going down? How are you doing? We hope your life is well. It is officially spring. Even if it don't really feel like it where you at, you know, the calendar says spring.
Oh, it's going to be 75 today.
Oh, it's 75 on it? Okay. All right, well, Chicago won. Yeah. It's looking a lot like out there. All right, bet. That's what's happening. But no matter where you are in the world, man, we appreciate y'all. As Bang does his jig there for everybody that's able to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Short bus shorty. Bus shorty.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Hey, but it is time to talk about wrestling like nobody else in the world. And hopefully y'all paying attention because you know what? If you listen to our podcast, we can educate y'all on the shit that y'all be asking on social media too.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So with that said, man, let's get right into the first Black Champ podcast. And I'm Cam from the Port.
And I am J.R. Bang. Again, we are here to educate you, especially on some of the black wrestling shit. So make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download to the Barbershare Digital, home of First Black Champ. Make sure you go ahead and get that merch. Hey, Camp, what's the URL now?
It is. Oh, shit. The URL is some crazy shit now. We got to change it. Listen, we just going to share the link.
There you go.
But listen. We gonna get it to firstblackchampmerch.com or firstblackchamp.com. We gonna do one of the two.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like spring.firstblackchamp.com or some shit.
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to say it.
Yeah, and you know what? Our distributor has officially changed how they are labeled. And as a result, all the URL links have changed. So Bang is right. We do need to give y'all this, but we are working behind the scenes, making this easily accessible to y'all. So right now, I am actually navigating the site on the back end. Y'all don't see this kind of stuff that we see. But what we got right now is the link first-black-champ.creator-spring.com.
Oh yeah, we're gonna change that.
Yeah, we're gonna change all that shit immediately. So,
just know that it's 15% off of the merch, and it runs into next weekend after WrestleMania. So it's FBCWM, 15% off of all merch. We got some new joints up there.
Yeah,
including my favorite. Everybody can't be the champ.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm tired of y'all, and I'm still tired of y'all talking about how certain people should be the champion. Yeah. Everybody can't be the champ, friend. Somebody got to play the Jake the Snake Roberts role.
You know what I'm saying?
And still get broke off. So y'all go ahead and check out that new merch, man. And
absolutely. Oh, real quick.
I want
to throw the merch idea to the audience, to our listeners.
Okay.
Because if they don't get behind this one, then I'm gonna make it.
Okay.
I'm thinking about making he good, but fuck Johnny Wrestling. That's the shirt I'm thinking about making.
He just got rehired.
Yeah, which makes it even better. Like, so two things are right at the same time, right? Like, as you say all the time, Bang. Look, he is good. Look.
No, that's my bad. You talking about Johnny Gargano. Yeah, you hate Joey Gargano. I think you talking about John Laurinaitis. My bad. You hate that man.
No, Johnny's cool. So, but, you know what I'm saying? But hey, yeah, he's good, but fuck Johnny Wrestling, man. So y'all let us know if you want to see that shirt. And if you do, and we're going to do it in the NXT colors and all of that. Like, we're going to do it.
Or you know what? You know what? I got an idea even to add to that.
Let's go.
Put the parentheses up there with the line.
Yeah.
And you could insert whatever wrestler you want.
Yeah. Hey. Yes. So, yeah, he good, but fuck whoever.
Insert wrestler here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And mine going to be Johnny Wrestling, all right?
Yeah, his going to be Johnny Wrestling.
You know
he going to write that shit nice and neat, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's either Johnny Wrestling or UK Wrestlers, because we already know how you roll with that one.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Gentleman Jack, you might make one of my shirts, bro. Like, that's just that simple. You and your fucking umbrella, dude. And
he gone, man. He was out here on bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
He was one of the... See, look, there you go. Hey, man, look. So, next week is a great week. It's probably going to be the greatest wrestling week of all time.
Man.
Because we are going to have wrestling, but we should have top-notch wrestling.
Facts.
Every day, starting tomorrow. We have now. The key here is should, because Raw be on Raw sometimes.
That's a fact.
That's a fact. We was trying to defend that shit, but we gonna get into some of the happenings there that kind of got us upset, especially niggas.
Oh yeah.
But niggas, and yes, certain things have been teased, but there was a caveat that I read this morning. That I was like, holy shit. But between Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to have wrestling or wrestling content between NXT TakeOver, between the WWE Hall of Fame, which is inducting 2020 and 2021. And then, of course, Saturday and Sunday, WrestleMania 37 from Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
So, and that's not even mentioning, for the people who just love wrestling in general, Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
That's not even mentioning AEW and any other wrestling organization that you love to watch.
Yes.
The world will have their eyes on professional wrestling. Honestly, starting today. Because if you're like me, you've went to Peacock because today is the end of the WWE Network.
Yeah,
it's supposed to end on the 4th. Yeah, so if you're like me, you've joined the WWE. Well, I've been on Peacock because I have Comcast, Xfinity. So if you're like me, you've turned to the WWE Network and you have watched WrestleMania. And hold on, I got to pull something out because I need to show the people who's going to be looking at this on YouTube and anywhere else we got the video. I want to show y'all something that shows y'all that I've been about this life. Hold on.
All right, cool. Well, while Bang does that, I want to say, and I have to bring this up for him once he gets back onto the screen, that the only L that we are going to be taking this week is that Faye Jackson will be unable to perform due to her injury. Now,
she got hurt?
I think she sprained her ankle. She's having a knee issue or something like that.
Oh, damn.
So, for those of you that probably don't really monitor my Twitter and my Instagram likes, I'm in love with Faye Jackson. And because she wore Tribe Called Quest tights and she twerked and she liked to bite penis and slam her vagina in people's faces, I'm here for that.
Yeah.
But so she's one of my favorite. She's probably my real favorite for every other reason that's not really wrestling favorite wrestler right now. And it is unfortunate that she will be unable to perform, but she did say for all the ladies, because this ain't really for us, but she did say the Great Sweatpants Battle Royal would be going on no matter what. But she will just be unable to do her thing during the Mania weekend. So all of her dates, as far as her being an active competitor, are done.
Well, look, y'all make sure y'all tweet Faye Jackson and let her know that Camp from the Port and First Black Champ Podcast, FBC Pod, are big fans of hers.
Yeah.
And she's welcome to join this show anytime she wants to.
Absolutely.
Dead ass. So, I want to show y'all I was about this life.
Okay.
What's that?
Hey, that is a VHS cassette tape of WrestleMania 3.
Dead ass. I've been about this life. Coliseum home video, and it's taken from a video store.
Hey, I was gonna say, I was like, that look like you got it from Hollywood Video or Blockbuster.
Yeah, I still got the sticker. All them bitches is closed.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Be kind, rewind. You dig?
Damn right. So, just giving y'all an idea that I've been about this life. Every WrestleMania week, I dig in the WrestleMania crates.
Okay.
And I look at old WrestleMania matches or old I've watched WrestleMania 1 yesterday.
Okay.
I'm currently looking at WrestleMania 2. The NFL players versus wrestlers battle royal is about to start right now, which took place in Chicago, Illinois. in 1986. In 1986 WrestleMania 2, they had it in 3 locations. They had it in Nassau Coliseum, in New York. They had it in Chicago at the Rosemont Horizon, Rosemont, Illinois, and they had it in LA at the LA Sports Arena, I think it was.
Yeah, that's one WrestleMania that I think I've seen that one the least, and I don't know why.
You know what? I know why. Yeah. It's not the best one.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, that's it. It's just not the best one. Like, it is what it is. It was in 3 places. It was scattered. It was a lot of stuff. It was a lot of jobber matches.
I think that is what I remember because because the fact that Refrigerator Perry is like a top 3 moment.
Yeah, but you know what? It was in Chicago. That part of it was in Chicago, so the fridge was over. It's shit, and they just won the Super Bowl a couple of months prior. So if you're from Chicago, you would know. Even though I got my socks at home, the socks are the least. They're like the last of the favorite sports teams. This is a basketball and a football town, but it's the Bears first, Bulls second, Cubs. Yeah, oh yeah. Go ahead.
No, I mean, because honestly, and I don't even fuck with baseball like that.
Oh yeah, I know.
But I was thinking Cubs, Bears.
Nah, the Cubs. The only reason why is because the split with the teams.
Okay.
But if the Bulls were to win a title right now, that shit would be more than what we saw at Wrigley when the Cubs won the World Series. It was just them niggas ain't win shit.
Yeah.
Since your grandma was around.
Right. I was gonna say, like, it's a few generations that have just died. Like, shout out to my Uncle Broomsley, rest in peace. I know he would have loved to see this, but damn, he lived to like 90 something and it still didn't happen. Right. So it's like, oh, sorry.
Like, sorry. But this is a football and a basketball town. And now that the Cubs have won the World Series, it's that we'd love to get back, but we won in my lifetime, so it's cool. Yeah. Like, but if the Bulls or the Bears, especially the Bears were to win the title right now. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, no.
And that's what happened in 1986. So when William Refrigerator Perry comes out at the Rosemont Horizon to wrestle and actually get far in the Battle Royal, white fans bust nuts. That's what happens. Them white fans bust all type of nuts. Oh my God, it's the fridge. He's the greatest. Like, the only person who could eclipse the fridge in this battle royal is if Walter Payton
facts
was in this battle royal.
Which brings me to my sidebar question I'm thinking of as you talk about this. Do you think that WrestleMania 2 specifically and the battle royal in which Refrigerator Perry won, combining all of your elements, Chicago being a very huge sports town, football being number 1, the Bears being number 1, fresh off the Super Bowl, Refrigerator Perry, and then you got wrestling being the cornerstone of wrestling. Do you think that is why, that moment is why Chicago becomes a top 3, and then you can argue, I think, even number 2 or 1 city for pro wrestling, period?
You know what? It was before that.
Okay.
I think from a national scale, yes, because somebody would have to correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first time where Chicago was on closed circuit national TV in wrestling. But Chicago has always been a wrestling town. Jonathan Hood had talked about that when we had him on a couple of episodes. Like, Chicago was that town that you had to go to.
Right.
It's just now when you get to WrestleMania, and it's not just the fridge, but it's Andre the Giant, it's Big John Studd, which were probably at the time, and Bruno Sammartino, which at the time are the biggest names in wrestling. Yeah, you got the Hart Foundation in that bitch. You got Hillbilly Jim up in that bitch. You got Tony Atlas up in that joint. But as far as wrestling fans, is Andre the Giant, Big John Studd up in there. And who else was up in that joint?
all about
Like
the
even
draw.
Pedro Morales, because he's a former champion in the WWE.
All right. Yeah, yeah. It's all about being the draw, man. That's
Yeah.
what y'all know
Iron
that by
Sheik.
now.
Yeah, Iron Sheik. Like there's a lot of names up in there, but when you get Andre the Giant winning a battle royal up in that joint, and then you got the Fridge knocking out, going up against Big John Studd, even though Big John Studd eventually knocks him out, like that. That's one of the first to me. I'll even go as far as saying this. I get WrestleMania 1 with Hogan and all that shit. You know, right. Hogan and Mr. T versus Paul Orndorff and Roddy Piper and all that shit. Mm-hmm. The first true WrestleMania moment, in my opinion, is William Refrigerator Perry.
Okay.
In that Battle Royal.
Okay.
When you think of WrestleMania moments,
right?
Like, you know, and Vince McMahon, WrestleMania moment.
Yeah.
I can't really think of a WrestleMania moment in WrestleMania 1. You can force it and say when Andre the Giant went up against Big John Studd and he threw the money in the crowd.
Right.
You can force it.
Yeah. I mean, to your point, all the montages that they show at WrestleMania, like back in the day when it was like at 10 and like 15, they only showed Hogan holding up the belt with Mr. T's hand.
Yeah,
that was the only WrestleMania.
Right. It wasn't even a title. It wasn't even a world title match. The first title match is WrestleMania 2. But
right.
To shit on WrestleMania 2 real quick, and I realized that years ago when I got the actual WrestleMania DVD collection. Mm-hmm. The fix was in as soon as WrestleMania 1 started, because they do America the Beautiful with with Ray Charles. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the song, it's Hulk Hogan with fake ass sparkles coming up behind him like this. You know he winning the night.
Yeah.
You know he winning the night if you're watching that on closed circuit television. You just don't realize that this shit about to be a squash. Because that's essentially what it was. It was a glorified squash match when it came against King Kong Bundy. He had more trouble with Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff than he did with King Kong Bundy. This WrestleMania is terrible. This is the WrestleMania you didn't want. Now, you might say, well, why are you watching this shit? Because it's WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's just important shit.
You have matches you have Jake the Snake Roberts versus George Wells, my G.
Oh, shit, yeah.
You got Fabulous Moolah versus Velvet McIntyre.
Yeah.
Like, you have non-memorable matches.
Yeah.
So, like this.
Even superstars matches to a degree.
Right. So, this was the WrestleMania that, if they would have did this one first, it fuck shit up.
Yeah.
This would have been fucked. Yeah, it's been a wrap, son. So thank God for WrestleMania 3 for blowing it out the water.
Word.
But yeah, during this time, man, I tend to watch WrestleMania all week long. I sometimes watch them in order.
Okay.
So it's probably going to be WrestleMania 3 and WrestleMania 4 today. And probably while I'm working tomorrow, WrestleMania 5 and WrestleMania 6. And then after I get done with meetings and shit on Tuesday and Wednesday, WrestleMania 7 and WrestleMania 8 going into NXT TakeOver. And then, you know, that's me. That's how much of a nerd I am. And I always find new and different shit. Like, Dangerous Dan Spivey looks better at WrestleMania 2 as the Golden Boy than he's ever looked in his career to me.
Okay.
It's almost like the next year he started drinking alcohol heavily. Like by 87, he was looking like a drunkard.
You have a point there.
Yeah. Another one, and I'm going to say this was a failed. I'm mad at Bill Fralick because I didn't realize that Bill Fralick was damn near the same height And he's a football player, former offensive tackle, offensive guard, I believe he was. And I think he played for Buffalo or New England. But he was a dope offensive guard. And he looked good wrestling. Like, if there were ever a moment where you went to the back and was like, hey, Bill, come here. No, the Atlanta Falcons, my bad.
Okay.
Like, come here. Hey, Bill, you don't want to play football no more, fam. Like, Bill Fralick looks like Sting.
Oh, shit.
In 1986.
Okay.
Like, if you watch WrestleMania 2, he's the dude with the red tights. When they do the tease of the match, he's going up, he's yelling at Big John Studd. And these niggas like this, son. He should have stopped playing football and just was like, fuck it, I'm a wrestler.
I'm in here. Okay.
So yeah, but nah, WrestleMania 2 was terrible. Yeah, it was terrible. It didn't, yeah. The fridge is about to get knocked out. Elbow. And then Big John Studd, he throws him out. And then he's like, oh man. And Big John Studd's like, ha ha, nigger. and William Refrigerator Perry, like, you know what, Honky? That was good. Good job. Yeah, good job. Shake up, man. NAACP clan. Up, pull you out. Bow. And now he's out. WrestleMania moment,
man. Hey, you know what? To speaking to your point of watching WrestleManias in order, I've always been amazed at how WrestleMania 4 and WrestleMania 5 look so different, yet they were at the same place.
Yeah.
like they were back to back at the Trump Plaza both times. Trump whole ass is there, but we don't know that he the whole racist that he is at that
right.
time.
He just got money at that point.
Right. But like, man, from the tournament, it was almost like Vince was like, logistically that shit was kind of trash. But let's do it again and try this.
Right. Let's run it back.
And he was like, I'll still bring Hogan and Macho. Like, I'll still bring them.
You know what? To your point, you listen to some podcasts and you listen to some explanations, and I will never ever believe that the $1 Million Man was not supposed to win the world championship that day.
Word.
Because to your point, WrestleMania 4 looks like $1 Million Man.
Mm-hmm.
Color scheme, black and goldish.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like $1 Million Man. Whereas WrestleMania 5 is bright.
Yeah.
It looks like Hogan.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So now to your point, I'm with you. Which, let's stop shitting on this WrestleMania, this WrestleMania, WrestleMania 2. Mm-hmm. And you know what? Let's go into these predictions. Let's get these out the way because it's pretty much set. And I want to start at WrestleMania on SmackDown. Okay. So on the 9th, they're going to air a special WrestleMania edition of SmackDown. So this is going to be different. This is going to be new. They're basically treating all week like WrestleMania except for Monday. So, hey. So there's going to be a lot going on. Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, and Edge is going to speak. Then they're going to have a fatal 4-way tag team championship match. So Adam Pearce had made a decision that on Friday, SmackDown, WrestleMania, there's going to be a tag team match. So the Dirty Dogs, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode are going to defend their belts against the Street Profits, Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, and Otis and Chad Gable. Who you got?
Man, you know what? I'm not going front. I think I'm leaning towards Otis and Chad, man. I'm leaning towards Otis and Chad. I think what would be really cool for them specifically as we go into the new season of wrestling, and as a way to just kind of build up some unpredictability into the tag team division, which is sorely missed right now. I think give it to the guys that are looking the best as a team right now. And And obviously, that's no disrespect to the Street Profits, but we already know what the Street Profits about to do.
Right.
Like they're going to go down unless they do break them up for some reason that everybody seems to foreshadow happening. The Street Profits are probably going to go down as like the number 7 tag team of all time.
Okay.
Like the play is already in. Like they've already had the undefeated they're on the demolition run. If you watch this Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard, they're on the demolition run where like they ain't lost in like a year, then they won the belts, then they didn't lose until then. Like they even did the draft and they just traded belts because they were like, no, we ain't losing our shit either. Like it is what it is. So I think that's what's going to happen for them. So with that said, winning at WrestleMania, even though Black chance at WrestleMania winning is some shit I'm all in for, I don't think that they need to do it this time. Y'all already know how I feel about the Dirty Dogs, and it's sad because liking Ziggler and Rude individually, and wanting to see them win to a degree. But I mean, hey, the Zigzag never beat nobody, so fuck out of here. So, so with that said, I mean, Gable, Otis winning because they moveset is super cold on the low. If you watch last SmackDown,
yeah,
I'm just all in on them making and then making the tag team division something else again with some more unpredictability.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you, homie.
Okay.
And gonna have to name a team that I don't think we really want to name.
All right.
But Dominic and Rey Mysterio is coming out victorious on this WrestleMania.
And I purposely didn't even name them.
I noticed that. I noticed it.
Because it's like, son.
Yeah, Otis and Gable won on Friday. In a nice fashion too, like you said, that moveset, man.
Yeah.
Street Profits are the Street Profits. The Dirty Dogs is the Dirty Dogs. Mm-hmm. But the team who has been kind of eating the mat, so to speak, is Ray and Dominic. Mm. And I think they're gonna get it. I think they're just setting it up like they're the 4th team in this bitch. Yeah. And Dominic, and I think Dominic is going to get the pin. And it's going to be like shock. It's going to be like a full WrestleMania moment on Friday because this is going to be the first father and son to win a tag team championship with each other. So they're gonna blow that whole thing up around. They're gonna blow that whole thing up around the fact that this is the championship, father and son, true WrestleMania moment. Can't believe it. Yada, yada, yada. There's no WrestleMania moment with anybody winning but 2 groups. And that's the Street Profits with the cups and Dominic and Rey Mysterio. So, we're going to get our first WrestleMania moment on Friday, man. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I will not be pleased if that happens. So
I can already tell. Now, the last match that's going to be going on that night is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. That will be going on Friday. Okay. Of course, this Battle Royal is to honor Andre the Giant, who won the Battle Royal at WrestleMania 2. Here are the announced wrestlers in this Battle Royal. Akira Tozawa, Angel Garza, Cedric Alexander, Drew Gulak, Elias, Eric is back, Gran Metalik, Humberto Carrillo, who's looking swole as shit lately.
Really?
Fam. Like he cut. Jackson Riker, Jey Uso, Kalisto, King Baron Corbin, Lince Dorado, Mace from Retribution, Murphy, Mustafa Ali, Ricochet, Sheldon Benjamin, Shinsuke Nakamura, Slapjack T-Bar, and yo man Tucker is back.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so out of all of those competitors, who do you have winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
Keep it real, I got 2 picks. And I can't decide on who it is, but it's going to be a person from SmackDown. My superstar is from SmackDown, and it's going to be either Shinsuke Nakamura, which was my pick one, or Jey Uso.
Oh, we're on the same page.
Oh,
we're on the same page. Like I look at this list, and the only thing that I say is, there's not even a wrestler here. In my opinion, there's not a wrestler on this list where you go, hey man, we could give one of these wrestlers a boost.
Right.
Let's give the belt. Let's give this match to Slapjack.
Man,
it's not one. So it came down to me, Jey Uso and Shinsuke Nakamura, and I said to myself, Shinsuke Nakamura is a Royal Rumble winner. He's a multiple-time singles champion. I'm picking Jey Uso.
There you go.
And not only am I picking Jey Uso, Jimmy coming back. And that's how he's going to win.
Okay.
He's going to get help from his brother. So
and he right down the street too.
Yes, he is. So I'm going with Jey Uso here with the help of Jimmy over Shinsuke Nakamura, which means, you know what this means, right? This means that as soon as this match is over, the internet is going to be pissed.
Oh yeah. Because see, now he should win Money in the Bank and cash in the same night.
They're doing Shinsuke Nakamura wrong. He should leave and go to AEW. Yeah. Well,
good luck with that, bud.
So Jey Uso, and then that helps out the whole thing about, the family and all of those things, and like it gives you it now also gives you an interesting thought going into WrestleMania. You got Jay, who's not banned from ringside, and you got Jimmy. Now the Usos are strong, and they're back, and then also it leads to them winning the tag team titles from Ray and Dominic.
Now, if that happens, I'm okay with that, but it's got to happen like immediately.
Yeah, I think it's gonna happen immediately. Like they're transitional champions.
Yeah, because come on, man.
They're transitional champions. And you'll understand once we get into night 2. So that ends WrestleMania 37 on SmackDown.
Okay.
So they haven't announced any other matches, but be on the lookout for that. So then we have night 1, April 10th. At WrestleMania 37, at the Raymond James Arena in Tampa, Florida. We're going to start from the bottom to the top because reportedly Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair will be ending off night 1. They will be the main event, which we applaud that. So starting off with Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. A nice good old grudge match at WrestleMania night 1. This puts Cesaro in a big spot because as they said on SmackDown, this is his first WrestleMania singles match. It's not like he's never had a WrestleMania moment because as you can remember, he picked up the Big Show over his shoulder and threw him out the ring to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So it's not like Cesaro has not had a singular WrestleMania moment, but as a singles competitor, he's now out here versus Seth Rollins, who's now talking about his drip. He's using the drip term. I knew it was going to happen. I had a feeling as many people started talking about his drip, he was going to say it, and now he's being really fashionable when he comes to the ring. He's actually kind of looking like a certain co-host of mine when he goes to work.
Embrace the vision.
So speaking of embracing the vision, who you got, man? Is it Cesaro or is it Seth Rollins? Who you got? Oh man, I think I lost Camp from the port. There we go. There we go. Let's do that again. Let's do that again. Night 1 of WrestleMania. Who you got? Seth Rollins or Cesaro?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna go Cesaro because Seth Rollins is part of my guarantee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to save that. I'm picking Cesaro as well because, as I have said, I believe that Cesaro will be the first wrestler to get a title shot after WrestleMania.
Okay.
And he has to win this match to get that title shot.
Yeah, embrace the vision, though.
Definitely embrace the vision. But
you know what I'm saying? Embrace the drip, too, goddamn.
Embrace the drip. But I think Seth Rollins is going to do his man the solid here, and he's going to let him go over, and then we're going to get Cesaro versus the world champion at the next WWE pay-per-view. As long as everything works out with that match, and I don't think these two can have a bad match with each other. Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon, and this match will be in a cage match, which means this is something for Shane McMahon to jump off of.
Yep. There you go.
So that's my guarantee. Shane McMahon is going to jump off something.
Yeah, definitely.
Make it easy.
He's definitely going to jump off something.
He's going to jump off something. Very high. But who you got, man? Shane or Braun? The worst shit that's going right now. Braun Strowman.
Right. And because it is the worst shit going, that's the only reason why I think Braun Strowman is going to win this match.
Okay.
If this was AJ Shane, Kevin Owens Shane, anybody else that was actually a good feud with Shane, I would put Shane over this time. But this is obviously an attempt to get Braun Strowman a WrestleMania match that matters, to get him over also on somebody that is known for having very good to even great performances at a WrestleMania. This is supposed to be the moment where Braun Strowman puts himself in the WWE Championship conversation.
Right.
So I'm going to pick Braun Strowman because that's what's supposed to happen.
All right, so I'm picking Braun Strowman.
Okay.
Because I think Braun Strowman gets the next title shot against Drew McIntyre or Bobby Lashley. However, and maybe this is just me overthinking. This is me just adding an extra match on the FanDuel parlay that I don't need to be adding to try to get over $2,000 here.
Right. You gotta take it though.
But something smells of a debut here. I don't know who. I don't know what. Yes, Shane McMahon has fought The Undertaker at WrestleMania and other people. But this just smells like somebody's going to make an appearance and cost Braun Strowman a match. It just smells. I don't know why it's giving me those vibes. But I have those vibes.
Well, I'll tell you this. The way Braun Strowman was describing the match, I thought they were going to be at Hell in a Cell.
I thought so too. I thought they was about to say Hell in a Cell, which I was about to say no.
Right. But then he said, in a steel cage match. I was like, well, the top open. Like, see, this is why Shane called you stupid. See? Right. Because people can get in to the fucking cage. Like, we've seen people enter cage matches.
Right. Yeah. It just smells somebody's going to make an appearance. It's going to be a debut. Something going to happen. It just smells like it. And I don't see Shane McMahon coming back just for this. That's my thing. It's something else. Something else got to be brewing here. But yeah, I got Braun Strowman just in case that shit don't happen. All right, so let's go over to the New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos for the Raw Tag Team Championships. I'll kick this off by saying I just feel like the fix is in. Omos and AJ Styles is going to win the Tag Team Championship. I think the overwhelming thought here is how Omos is going to look in the ring. That's why I believe that we're going to see AJ Styles in this match for the most part. And then Omos is just going to use his power sooner, later in the match to win it. And they're going to be a new tag team champs. And my man going to win a title in his first match at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I got AJ and Omos. And I'm super unclear of why they just couldn't beat the Hurt Business. And then that led to the breakup. Because I always felt that the way it was setting up, and we'll get into this later, is that the Hurt Business would lose the tag team titles and then be out. So I got AJ and Omos, but at the end of the day, the New Day is now the number one tag team in WWE history. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
They're being treated that way, and they're also now here to put the rest of everybody else over, and they always happen to put over somebody black every single time they lose.
That's true.
So,
or of color.
Yeah. So, shout to Kofi, shout to Xavier Woods for putting the Black Giant over at WrestleMania for the tag team championships.
All right. In a match that I don't give a fuck about, but it's there. Bad Bunny with Damian Priest.
Yeah, man.
Versus The Miz with John Morrison in a singles match. I don't care enough to pick this match.
Okay. And I will say that the best moment of this match has already happened when they did the Hey Hey Hop Hop video.
That was fun.
Yeah. That's the best. That was WrestleMania, folks.
Yeah.
That was it. I mean, but come on, man. Celebrities losing at WrestleMania, where they do that at?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's the only thing we gotta say. Celebrities losing at WrestleMania, where they do that at?
There they don't. I guess Bad Bunny.
Because bang, what is he gonna do? Beat the Miz beat the Miz, or no, lose to the Miz, and then try to get a revenge match on Raw?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, he's gonna face Morrison because he beat the Miz.
Like, I so don't give a fuck about this match. We're gonna see R-Truth and everybody run in this match for the 24/7 championship.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like,
because
this
Bad
is that
Bunny
match.
won that.
Yeah, that. Okay, I guess Bad Bunny. Well, next match, Bobby Lashley with MVP versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Who you got?
Man, okay. Hey, I know I'm wrong, but I'm picking black champs at WrestleMania. I'm picking black WWE champions, so I'm picking Bobby Lashley. I know I'm wrong. Don't at me. I know I'm wrong. Bobby fucking Lashley, okay? That's it.
Yeah, I'm picking Bobby Lashley too. I'm not gonna not pick him, even though Drew McIntyre is more than likely gonna win. Yeah, I'm not gonna not pick Bobby Lashley here.
Yeah. The thing about this, that the reason why I know I'm wrong for picking them is because Bobby Lashley, who literally has destroyed the entire federation, the entire first quarter, now wants Drew McIntyre to be taken out before they get to WrestleMania.
And it's like that's how you know the rosters need a remix. Because when they break up, which we're gonna get to in a second, he goes and it's like Ricochet and Drew Gulak and the rest of like the lower to mid card,
man,
folks, and he's like, take Drew McIntyre out. Like, Sheamus wasn't there. Like, he didn't go to his homie and be like, man, take him out. Like, he did end up getting help with Baron Corbin.
Right.
But that's your help?
Right.
That's it?
And Braun Strowman, the Monster Among Men, doesn't want to try to win 2 matches in the same night. He don't want to beat Shane Ass in the steel cage and then win the WWE Championship, sticking it to him twice to make that story more interesting.
But I'm picking Drew McIntyre. I'm picking Bobby Lashley, even though we know the fix is in here. So
word, absolutely, black champs, baby.
Right, and the last match of the night, which will be a first, ladies and gentlemen, in more ways than one.
Yeah.
This will not only be the first title versus title match of African Americans at a WrestleMania. This will be the first time ever in that you will get two black women main eventing WrestleMania in a match. This right here is history personified.
Yeah.
Two black women main eventing WrestleMania. Two black people in general.
Yes.
Main eventing WrestleMania. So it's at least three firsts here, ladies and gentlemen. We have Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship, reportedly main eventing night one of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Who you got?
Thought about this one a lot. And even though I can't lose here, because I'm black and I love these ladies, I'm going the boss, Sasha Banks. I'm going with the boss. I know that this moment would be spectacular for Bianca Belair, but keeping it real, just to calibrate where Sasha Banks is correctly, she needs to win this match because there's still going to be more hills for her to climb as far as just being a champ and being a defending champion and all of that. Also, she getting super toned. She getting low-key swole. I like how she break it down with her little twerk pop drop session when her music hits. We need champions to do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect, Bianca, but hey, listen. I think this is just reiteration. Sasha Banks being the number one, the A1 lady. I would say even now at this point, right now, the A1 wrestler in the WWE.
Yep.
Specifically. So with that said, going to boss, Sasha Banks. Let's go.
All right, so I was going to go Bianca Belair here.
Okay.
I was going to go Bianca Belair here. And mainly because Sasha is the heel. And so my thought process was the heel is WrestleMania. The heel should let the face go over here. And Sasha's clearly the heel here.
Yeah.
But with her being clearly the heel, it's not like she that's just in match terms. She's playing a tweener. She's not necessarily the bad person here.
Right.
This seems more friendly rivalry than anything. This is not Bayley versus Sasha.
Right.
Where Sasha was clearly the heel in NXT and then Bayley was clearly the heel, when we came, to SmackDown. So I got Sasha.
Okay.
But I think we're going to see an appearance from Becky Lynch.
Okay.
At the end of this night. I think Sasha wins and she's celebrating. She's crying. She's happy. All of that shit. And then at the end of the night, boom, and then Becky Lynch comes out, and she's walking up to the ramp, and she's staring at Sasha Banks. She's slowly walking down, looking at her. and then they look at each other, and they don't fight,
Right.
but they talk a little bit of shit, and that's how your night ends. That's how your night one ends. Basically alluding to they're going straight into Sasha versus Becky Lynch.
Okay.
It's gonna happen either night one or on Raw.
Okay.
But I think it's gonna happen at WrestleMania. Because I think for some reason they feel that they have to overcompensate with the women. I mean, if you look at the first WrestleMania where women main event, they turned it into a triple threat.
Right.
Where it literally could have been Becky and Ronda Rousey.
And that been it.
And it wouldn't have made a difference. I think they have a tendency to overcompensate with the women, and that's another reason why I believe Becky is going to make an appearance after Sasha wins at WrestleMania.
Okay.
All right, man. Let's go to night 2, the lit night. The lit night. This night is going to be wow. Like this could almost be WrestleMania itself.
Okay.
Starting off with, for the United States Championship, Riddle versus Sheamus. I can tell you right now, I got Riddle.
Okay.
I think, here's the thing. I think Sheamus should win this match. Mainly because if it's anybody who's earned some shit in the last couple of weeks, it's Sheamus. And I ain't the biggest Sheamus fan, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
But since the Royal Rumble, this nigga ain't failed us. Night after night, this motherfucker done gave us a knockdown, drag out match. And it's been A1. So to me, he should win this match as a thank you. But if it's anybody that could get Riddle over right now, it's Sheamus. And it's not like he's not already over. But I think that Riddle, even though there's a caveat here. I don't know if you saw the video that I sent you with Riddle and Oscar.
Oh no, damn, no, I didn't watch it.
Oh, you gotta look at that video I sent you.
Okay.
Basically what happened is they had a segment with Riddle and Oscar. He rolled up on the scooter, they was talking. This nigga Riddle forgot his words. And just left.
Oh shit.
Like
Oh shit.
oh man, alright, I'm out.
Oh shit.
So he should lose off that alone.
Okay.
But I think Riddle is in a good spot in the WWE enough where they could be like, hey, just don't do that shit again, fam. But
Right.
you're going over. Who you got?
You know what? I got Sheamus. For every reason that you said. Hey, Sheamus been fucking people up, man.
Man.
and although there are a couple people in his way as far as Raw goes and being the main title holder on there, him holding the United States Championship ain't a bad gig at all. I'm not saying that he'll hold it for a very long time, but yeah, man, everything about Sheamus dominating his way to that United States Championship is just making sense to me right now, so I'm going Sheamus.
All right. Going into the next match, we got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn finally in a one-on-one match at WrestleMania. Logan Paul is supposed to be in Sami Zayn's corner. Who you got in this match?
Hey, you know me, man. I'm here for KO Mania 5, man. So I'm going Kevin Owens.
I'm going Kevin Owens as well. I think this is definitely going to be one of those matches to steal the show because these two are friends, they're homies. This is something that they've always wanted. So I think that they are going to steal the show when it comes to this match. All right. This match right here, the first black men to ever wrestle each other in a championship match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So while Sasha Banks is going to take, and Bianca Belair is going to take all of the first two black folks to main event WrestleMania, two first black women to main event WrestleMania, the first black female wrestling match at WrestleMania, all this shit. If my memory serves me correctly, this would be the first first match between two black men at WrestleMania since the late Butch Reed versus Coco Beware at WrestleMania 3.
Okay.
And there's never been two black men wrestling against each other for a title. So we're going to get it for the Intercontinental Championship. However, in the case of doing too much, here's my fear. So it's Big E versus Apollo Crews in what is supposedly being billed as a Nigerian drum fight.
Yeah.
Now, I'm 40% Nigerian according to Ancestry.com.
Okay.
So
let's talk about it.
So, I think I would know something about a Nigerian drum fight.
Okay.
But I don't. Which I have a fear, Camp.
Okay.
I have a fear. I think Vince McMahon saw Black Panther. Now, remember when Jey Uso and Roman Reigns fought? And I was like, yo, they should have all these niggas come out. They should do the Samoan chants and all that shit, and then they go wrestle. I think we're gonna get this shit at WrestleMania. When I hear Nigerian drum fight, I hear boom boom boom, boom boom, put-a-doom-doom. Like he's gonna come. Apollo Crews is gonna come in all of his Nigerian garb. His face is going to be painted. He's gonna come out in his Wakanda shit. This is gonna be Wakanda out, and niggas is going to be hitting the drum anytime a motherfucker fall on the mat.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
And like niggas, like we gonna get all this shit at WrestleMania, fam. Like, we gonna get all this shit. Cause for the life of me, I'm like, what is a Nigerian drum fight? Like we didn't know what the Great Khali shit was gonna be until they gave us the vignettes with the bamboo. And we still was like, what the fuck they supposed to do with all this goddamn bamboo?
Right. It's like Punjabi prison match.
Yeah, like what the fuck is this shit? Like they really in bamboo in prison? Like even when Ken Shamrock, Owen Hart, a couple of others, they had that little cage match shit.
Right.
Like the little small ass cage. In the WWE. There's other matches where we've been like, what the fuck they gonna do here? This one, I'm black and I have no clue.
Yeah. You know what? We both don't have the same clue, but have the same vision.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like,
oh yeah. Remember that on The Color Purple?
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know, fam. What's going on? I don't know.
Oh God. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Wow. You were like, hey.
If you guys not looking at the YouTube, I'm dancing.
You're Nigerian, so it is what it is. You know?
Like,
oh God.
Oh, I'm confused here, man.
Yeah, man.
You couldn't get him a last man standing match?
Or, I mean, not that we would really want to see 2 out of 3 falls, but even something that, you know what I mean? But yeah, Nigerian drum match. I mean, hey, listen, man. We are rolling out a new character with a special match in 60 days. Within 60 days. That's where we at with it. You know? So
I'm scared. Like I'm just scared there's gonna be a whole bunch of white people like, yo, what the fuck is going on, Bob?
Man.
What the fuck is
you
this
could
nigga's
definitely
going? What the fuck? What the fuck is this Black Lives Matter match?
hey, the Black Lives Matter match?
What the fuck is this Black Lives Matter match? God damn, Vince.
That would be wild.
What the fuck is this, Vince? This Black Lives Matter's BLM match. Like, I got a feeling we're going to be on Twitter and we're going to be so upset that we can't be upset.
Man.
Because it's like, well, what the fuck did you expect, Vince?
Right.
Apollo. Like, is Big E gonna come out with his own face paint too?
No, knowing him, he will. But let's not. You know what I mean? Just stick to being black from Florida. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy enough. Hey, listen, being black from Florida is crazy enough. Just ask Trick Daddy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, I say all that to say, who you think gonna win?
I mean, listen, specialty match or not, I had Apollo Crews because how could he not?
He can't lose 5 straight matches.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And also, again, man, also just sticking back to my stance from a few weeks ago. Apollo Crews has figured it out. This is working. This is a thing. Even if black people don't understand it, and we'll talk about that later in the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, look, he get it. He figured it out. Him having the Intercontinental Championship makes perfect sense to me, man. I'm going to Apollo Crews.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We'll figure it out, man. Yeah, I got Apollo Crews too. He can't lose 5. I think it'd be like 4 or 5 matches in a row.
Because if he loses at that point, then it's like, hey, yo, you're being featured endeavored at that point.
Yeah, especially if you're losing your match. Like,
all right.
You're getting your match at WrestleMania. What the fuck there? All right, man, let's go to this next match. I don't know if this is going to be a cinematic match or what. I'm confused on how they're going to do this, but The Fiend is back and burnt and better than ever. And he's going to be going up against Randy Orton. This is their second WrestleMania match, if you guys don't remember the first one. This was that match where it had all of the maggots on the ring, and Randy Orton was like, yo, we spent millions of dollars on that bullshit. So I don't know if this is going to be a cinematic match or what. I have a feeling this is going to be cinematic because I can't see these two just wrestling in a normal match.
Yeah, and why should they at this point?
Yeah, so in a cinematic match, I'm going to go no contest here. Because we still don't know who won between Bray Wyatt and John Cena last year.
That's a fact. Damn, that's a fact. That shit was just over. And we were like, yo, that was kind of hard.
This shit was lit. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but
like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck we just watched, but
it
was kind of cold.
Shit was badass. So yeah, I'm gonna go no contest here. I don't know what the fuck gonna happen.
Yeah, man.
I think I'm matter of fact, I'm interested to see if they're gonna do the same thing with Randy Orton like they did with John Cena. Like we're gonna get OVW Randy Orton. We're gonna get WWE SmackDown John Cena. Yeah, we're gonna get we're gonna get Randy News Network.
Man, I would like that. That'd be hot.
Yeah, I think we're going to get all these shits. Randy Orton's going to get a flashback of when he was the legend killer. And I think we're going to see some of the legends he fucked up.
I'm here for
including Jake the Snake Roberts. I think Jake the Snake Roberts make an appearance at WrestleMania. The forbidden door is open because we're going to talk about that shit.
Word.
This is the forbidden door is open. Jake the Snake Roberts was one of the first legends he fucked up.
Yeah.
So, hey. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a cinematic match, but this shit is going to be a no contest, man. It's just going to be like, this match is over, and we're going to be like, just like how Titus O'Neil, I think it was after that match, too. He was like
we'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Like, I don't know what I just watched.
So, yeah, I think we get that again.
Okay. I'm going Bray Wyatt. because winning a match, I think, would bring some normalcy back to his character being on weekly. Like, yo, hey man, why don't you wrestle and win? So you can keep talking again.
There you go.
So I would pick it Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I bet, man. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. I think this match is happening with Rhea Ripley mainly because some of the issues that Charlotte had that was weird. People thought she had issues with the company because Andrade, but it turns out that they gave her a physical and her hormones was high enough to signal a pregnancy, but she wasn't pregnant. And then she got COVID. A lot of weird shit. And I think that's part of the reason why she's not in this match. Just the COVID part too. But a lot of weird shit. But Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley will be in her second straight WrestleMania. This time for the Raw Women's Championship. Last year she defended the NXT Championship versus Charlotte up in that match. So this is definitely one of those matches where you can't complain about them putting somebody new. Because it's Rhea. Right. I'm going to go Rhea Ripley here too. I don't think she's gonna lose 2 straight WrestleManias.
Okay.
I think this is they put the battery in her back, and then it sets up her and Charlotte.
Well, I agree with you. And setting up her and Charlotte, especially for the Raw Women's Championship. However, you got me thinking that Asuka's going to win, and that's who Becky Lynch shows up for. Even though either situation makes sense, but as we remember, Becky retained her title, gave it to Asuka, and was like, yo, I'm about to go be a mom. So what better way than to have it come full circle than to have those two? Hey, thanks for holding my belt, bitch.
I'm back though.
We fight on Raw to get my shit back. All right,
and it helps bring the Raw ratings back.
There you go.
Because now you have her. I rock with that shit. And
so Asuka.
Yeah, so Asuka. And now we have the last match of the night: Roman Reigns, Edge, Daniel Bryan, triple threat match. WWE Universal Championship. Edge, Royal Rumble winner. Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief. The Isle of Relevancy. Daniel Bryan. I'm just going to sneak myself in these motherfucking matches again.
Right. Captain Planet, bitch.
Right. Who you got, man? Who you got in this match?
Man, Edge is painting a really great picture, right?
Man,
he's painting a really good picture of getting his title back, or getting his title back a decade from the year in which he had to give it up. And even though that story is something great for people like us, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how much the younger fans really care about the last 10 years and Edge's part, last 15 years, I'll say, and Edge's part in it. But yo, this shit ain't happening for no fucking reason. So I'm going Daniel Bryan, man.
Ooh.
I'm going Captain Planet. And I'm going Captain Planet for this reason. This shit was set. Like, what we've been doing for decades is having the motherfucker that wins the Royal Rumble gets a singles match for the title of his choice at WrestleMania.
Yep.
Somehow Daniel Bryan was like, hey, I get all of that shit, but I'm Captain Planet. I'm biodegradable Bob Backlund. I need to be in this motherfucker. So then they have the Elimination Chamber, and Daniel Bryan wins it. Because it's also true that the fucking winner of the Elimination Chamber goes to WrestleMania to face the champ. Because the other champ won his, which is why Drew McIntyre I can see why he's going to WrestleMania. He won the Elimination Chamber.
Right.
So, with all these things being true at the exact same time, and the fact that I think that we are gearing up for the trilogy that is Edge versus Daniel Bryan, I'm picking Daniel Bryan. Like, Roman Reigns is still Roman Reigns even without the belt, and they're going to make this make sense somehow. But I'm picking Daniel Bryan right now.
I'm picking Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns. I agree with you about Daniel Bryan and Edge, though. I think Roman Reigns wins. Daniel Bryan takes the pin. Edge is pissed because he still ain't been pinned.
Right. Yeah, Edge ain't lost all year.
I ain't lost my belt yet, fam. So, I think what eventually happens is those two fight. Roman Reigns moves on. So, whatever the next pay-per-view is, you set up Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. Mm-hmm. Because as I said, I believe that Cesaro gets the first title match outside of WrestleMania. And then you have Edge versus Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
And then that winner, by SummerSlam time, because I think those two fight 2 pay-per-views in a row.
I'm with you on that.
And that winner goes up against Roman Reigns at SummerSlam and take the belt off of Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
So he eventually gets it back, of course, but yeah, I think that's what happened.
Oh yeah. Tribal Chief gonna chief.
Yeah, Tribal Chief. Yeah, I need a break. He's basically used that to say, you know what? I lost the belt because I needed a break. When I come back, I'll get it back. So that's your WrestleMania that's your WrestleMania predictions, man. If next week when we do this again, if anything changes, they add any matches or whatever, we'll throw this back up in there. But hey, man, tweet us at JRBang at Camp from the Port, hashtag FBC Pod. Let us know what you think how those matches are gonna go. Join the Facebook group. Hit us on Instagram, FBC Pod. Let us know how that's going to be. Before we get to the maybe even eclipsing what happened on Raw is the biggest news of the week. Okay. We're going to get to Raw. And for an African-American fan and a lot of white people too, we were sorely disappointed at the Hurt Business being broken up on Raw. If you guys didn't see Raw, Bobby Lashley was basically yelling at the homies like, yo, y'all messed up. Basically, I didn't even need y'all that night and y'all messed up. Berated them. Cedric Alexander said some shit he got stole off of. Shelton Benjamin was like, hey fam, MVP put his cane out, was like, yo, hold on fam, like nah. And then he pushes MVP, and then he grabs Bobby Lashley and throws him off of Cedric Alexander. They fight, they tussle. Hurt Business breaks up. Or I won't say break up. The Hurt Business is now closed for business.
Right.
Now, whether this is a temporary close or not, let me take you to sportskita.com, right? And this is the rumor. Now, gonna read this. Levi Gratian was the writer here. She says, following the breakup of the Hurt Business on the most recent edition of Raw, a lot of viewers expressed their disappointment at the development. On Raw, leader MVP kicked out Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, who are the former Raw Tag Team Championships. According to a recent report on Frightful, the members of the Hurt Business felt very much the same as the fans regarding their split. According to the report, the decision of the split was solely made by Vincent Kennedy McMahon. This is the interesting part right here, though. It has been stated that both MVP and Bobby Lashley met with Vince McMahon to discuss the move. Apparently, Bobby Lashley and MVP were both very vocal about their disagreement with the split. But Vince McMahon was set In his choice, following the discussion with McMahon, the CEO of the WWE was even more adamant that the split had to go ahead. Frightful also says that the move from Vince McMahon hasn't been great for the morale of other WWE talent. Now, normally, I would say the niggas are upset. Right. But I truly believe for the first time in the history of my watching wrestling, white people were upset that the black people broke up.
Word. I mean, that's what it sounds like. I mean, but, and I guess Vince was like, hey, y'all wouldn't let me do it to New Day. So.
Damn, you beat me to the punch. But go ahead, because I have a theory that we ain't gonna like. Yeah. You kind of alluded to it.
You know, I mean, honestly, man, when we really look at it, though, right? I'm going to take a different angle, but this is what I feel. I'm not taking it on purpose, but
okay,
I'm going to take this angle, though. How many times do we really want to see teams break up?
No, we don't.
You know, or factions break up. Like, okay, I'm going to go out on a limb here. The only successful breakup ever is the Rockers. It's the only successful one ever. And when I say about the most successful one ever, you get a bona fide superstar that I don't think any of us seen coming.
Okay. I see where you're going.
We all like Shawn Michaels. But for real, when the barbershop happened and he kicks Marty Jannetty, throws it through the glass, did you think that you were looking at a multiple-time world champion when that fucking happened?
Not at all. Not at all. Well, let me rephrase that. Mm-hmm. When it happened, no.
Okay.
When he came out the next week on Superstars, mm-hmm. something told me the battery was going to be in that man back soon.
But even with that.
But when it happened,
mm-hmm.
no way in hell I was like, yo, we're about to see. And even the next week, I didn't think we were going to see Mr. WrestleMania, possibly greatest wrestler of all time, all of those things.
Right. Because the battery can be in your back and you'll still be Razor Ramon.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So he didn't really break up the Hart Foundation. But honestly, it took me a while. It took me until the Hart Foundation got back together as a faction to where I was like, yo, Bret Hart made it work.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's go. Nation of Domination. We've broken that down a couple times. Did we really like when that broke up?
Okay, you're about to be surprised.
Okay.
I did.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Mainly because the group was a far cry from what it used to be.
Okay, so then you're thinking like me then, when The Rock comes in and starts being pushed to the front, that's when it's breaking up to you.
Yeah, and mainly because now Godfather's a pimp. D-Lo is a like if they kept the Nation of Domination like how it was, and The Rock still got pushed to the forefront, I'm good. But then when you start seeing the Cointel Pro shit,
right?
It's like, all right, these niggas can break up,
right?
Because they're already not a group no more,
right?
They're now 4 separate niggas together,
right? So you probably didn't feel like me. The Nation and Domination, they see the dissension in the ranks between The Rock and Farouk. They take Farouk's side. They beat Rock ass, get him out of there, and he's successful anyway.
I think that would have happened. But because now at this time, you've made him a face. You've got him over. And he was starting to get over anyway. Mm-hmm. So whoop his ass. But that ended up eventually happening anyway. because that's pretty much how the Nation of Domination broke up.
Right.
They just split 4 ways, as opposed to staying the Nation of Domination and what Mark Henry or D'Lo or Godfather being the leader.
Right. And to fast forward, because I don't want to spend too much time on the breakups, but I never want to see the Hardy Boys break up. Never want to see Edge and Christian break up.
That was the Hardy Boys was weird.
Right.
Edge and Christian, because they fought, like they had their issues before. Like it was weird between them when Christian showed up. But the Hardy Boys was weird. Owen and Brett wasn't.
Right. But even then, you can make sense of that. Because it's like, you know, everybody was trying to little bro Owen Hart. And to me, if it's not Anvil and Hitman, it ain't no team. So you can put anybody against Brett for me, and it works. So what I'm getting at, DX, both versions. I never want to see both versions. Like, I never wanted Triple H versus Shawn. I'm probably in that very small minority. To me, what I felt should have happened with DX is that Shawn Michaels comes back to the Furious Five that was on deck, and they start really running shit.
Yeah.
And it sets up Austin Michaels 2 and 3, not Rock Austin 2 and 3.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Triple H Shawn Michaels until it happened. Until SummerSlam. When SummerSlam happened, I was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I see what it is. Bad.
So going in all to that to say, Vince McMahon is notorious for making us love some shit and being like, you know what though? I mean, good things gonna come to an end. You know what I'm saying? Only thing that's forever is Wu-Tang and the WWE. So we about to break these motherfuckers up right the fuck now. Problem, see where the New Day got saved in their own way is because of this reason. They draw too much money.
Yeah.
They draw way too much money. We love the Hurt Business. It's great Twitter conversation. Even West Side Gun made a song called The Hurt Business. I'm gonna say that I am not really a fan of this move, but unfortunately, they're not the draw that they needed to be to stay together, but also they weren't given the opportunity to be the draw.
Right, it's a pandemic going on. So
yeah, you know what I'm saying? What I do like about this angle is because it could come full circle and it could be back together. But yeah, it is unfortunate. But this is what Vince do. And I'm not gonna make it a black thing or a white thing or anything. I'm just thinking of it as oh man, they that hot? Oh, let's break that shit up then.
Yeah, maybe I'm in the minority, but I don't think this shit over.
Me neither, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think this shit over. But here's what I'm upset about, and it's not even the black part.
Okay.
Here's what I'm upset about, and you kind of alluded to it. You didn't give them a chance to see what it's going to look like in front of fans. Also, if it's one thing that I learned about the Horsemen, right? Because I think the Horsemen was the greatest at this. Mm-hmm. We don't need no titles to whoop your ass.
There you go.
Oh, we lost the belts to the Rock and Roll Express? All right. We'll beat their ass in a second. But we're gonna beat somebody else's ass. Like, did Tully Blanchard or Barry Windham need to have the United States Championship? No. To whoop your ass. That's what makes me a bit upset.
Right.
Is that they lost, is how the breakup happened. They lost the belts. Then you had them overcompensating and making Bobby Lashley mad. And then him with the knee jerk, yo, it's a wrap. I think the best factions are the factions who are still at the top and don't need a belt. And I think you were inch into that point where now Bobby Lashley is a champion, former world champion. Because whether we pick Bobby Lashley, yes, we picked Bobby Lashley earlier. Mm-hmm. We don't think he walking out of WrestleMania the champ.
Right. No.
But now, since he has the former by his name, the Hurt Business just looks and sounds more dangerous than ever.
Word.
Because you took our shit from us.
Right.
So the Braun Strowmans of the world and other high card to mid card guys who don't have the belt, we can now fuck them up on our road to at least try to get that motherfucker back.
Word.
By killing it, you kill all that shit.
Word.
And that's what makes me upset.
Right.
Because that's when we see what the group is made of after they win the belt. Like, Raven ain't winning no world title.
Yeah.
So the Flock don't get that chance.
Right.
But the NWO was still strong when Hulk Hogan lost the fucking world championship.
Right, exactly. It actually made them more cooler because it was like, hey, we acting like we got the belt to show you, fuck the belt. We run shit.
Right. We don't care about that motherfucker right now.
Right.
We'll come back to it.
He was like, yo, I'll be back. I can get it tomorrow if I want.
Right.
But we ain't.
We ain't. Even like D-Generation X. It's like, we'll come back to it. But right now. And I think that's what we missed here. I think we blew the load early. Now, Four Horsemen break up, come back together, break up, come back together. NWO break up, split up, have two factions, come back together. So it's not like this shit's never happened before. Right. That's why I don't think this is the end of the Hurt Business. I think it's the end of the Hurt Business for now. I think they're temporary closed. I think it's a pandemic going on. They got to reassess their business. And right now, Bobby Lashley is basically like, fuck y'all niggas, because I'm trying to focus on the World Championship. But when he lose that World Championship, they going to be the Hurt Business again.
And speaking to your point, the breakup looked like business. You know, he was just like, yo, y'all not doing y'all job. Like, nigga, like we put y'all together so you can handle my light work. What is like the work ain't being handled. So like, yo, what the fuck is the deal? And also though, I can't front. This is always in the back of my mind as well, especially after the report that you just made. I mean, that you just read. I'm sorry. Is that Vince McMahon is very high on Bobby Lashley. He just ain't really high with Bobby Lashley with nobody else.
Bingo.
You know what I'm saying? I think the MVP shit is gold. But if he could maneuver away for Bobby Lashley to get to where Vince McMahon honestly wants him to go, even without MVP, he would take that too.
Yeah, I also think this is Vince McMahon saying, hey, fam, you don't need them to.
Yes.
And the funny thing is I think the New Day needed each other.
Yes, fact.
I think that Xavier Woods and Big E needed Kofi Kingston and that veteran leadership. Here's the part where I don't mind the Hurt Business breaking up.
Okay.
The only nigga who probably needed guidance was Cedric Alexander.
Man.
So I want to see how he benefits for being in the Hurt Business. If he don't benefit from if he don't come out of this looking better than ever, seeing the growth and all of that shit, if we don't see Prime Alexander, Vince is right.
Fact.
Because as the Macho Man says, the cream rises to the top. If we see Cedric Alexander on main event for the next three months, Vince right.
Yeah.
Vince was right. Because I like, and I've always liked Shelton Benjamin. But when I look at the Hurt Business, I'm looking at Keith Lee being the Batista of the group. I'm looking at MVP being the Ric Flair of the group. I'm looking at Bobby Lashley being the Triple H of the group. I'm looking at Cedric Alexander being the Randy Orton of the group.
Yes.
Shelton Benjamin ain't nowhere in that.
Right.
So maybe this is more of a knock on Cedric than it is, on Shelton than it is on Cedric. I don't know. What I will say is this. From a black male perspective, the Hurt Business is what I wanted to see on TV. Right. It was our four horsemen. It was our evolution. And if you break them up, break them up. But keep the Hurt Business. And what I mean by that is, if you want to end it in this group in particular, do that. Because Lex Luger got kicked out of the Four Horsemen for Barry Windham.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to do that, do that.
Right.
But keep the Hurt Business alive.
Yeah.
Just bring in new niggas.
I dig it. Or just, and you know what? I do want to.
Or bring in new people. Because it doesn't have to be only African Americans. Because you know what? If Baron Corbin looks better with niggas, that's cool. It's not unprecedented. Right. Because enough was enough. It was time for a change.
Yeah.
And then Owen Hart was around niggas.
Yeah. And unfortunately I come from a place of not liking that.
It depends on the person.
Yeah. And it was nothing against Owen Hart specifically. That's my guy.
Owen Hart didn't look, that should look weird. Let's be real.
Yeah. Like that was probably the greatest example of a lot of great people not helping each other out. Like, I don't like, yo, everybody's like great here. Why the fuck this don't work? You know what I'm saying? But I'll say this. Like, we already know, like, Shelton Benjamin's like career is already like it's stable and labeled. He had his run. It was the 2000s. I didn't like hell, a lot of the reason why I didn't think this shit was going to work, it was because it was Bobby Lashley with MVP and Shelton Benjamin. Right? You know what I mean? Like, that's where I started. Like, y'all can go back and check the archives. That's where I started a year ago. And then they brought Cedric Alexander in. I'm very high on Cedric. So I'm like, okay, I'm fucking with this. Then they started looking like the Black Four Horsemen. Super on this. This is what makes sense to me. I've been seeing Keith Lee's name thrown out there. You know what I'm saying? Even Big Papa wanted him to join the Hurt Business. And at first I was on the fence like, maybe not, because what we really need is Bobby Lashley versus Keith Lee for the WWE Championship at the SummerSlam. Like, that's what we need.
Yeah, I'm with that.
You get what I'm saying?
Of course.
And I still do kind of feel that way. However, I like the symbolism of the Hurt Business being all black only because it was finally the change that wasn't black athlete or black caricature. And a lot more black wrestlers fit into the Hurt Business mold than they fit into black athlete or black caricature. So I liked it for that reason. Like, because even though the Hurt Business was the Hurt Business, it didn't, like, you could tell it was different from version 1 of Apollo Crews.
Yeah, and that whole moment that they had at Raw Underground was lit.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? So I think of all of that, and I am in the minority with you. I don't agree. I don't think this is over. Like, this wasn't a breakup to where they are disbanded forever. I mean, hell, if you really look at what happened, they broke up, and then Shelton Benjamin got a singles match against the world champ the same night. And you know what I'm saying? And Cedric Alexander, I think, is about to get one next week.
Yeah, he fights him and Bobby Lashley tomorrow.
So all y'all telling me right now is two black guys and one of them being the world champ are going to be wrestling on Raw tonight. That's business.
And business is booming.
You dig what I'm saying? Like, again, I know y'all got to see the layers. I mean, this is why we the first Black Champ podcast and y'all not, right? So let's get that out the way. This is why we the first Black Champ podcast and y'all not. But what I'm saying with that is just like, see the play. Like, this wasn't the Rockers. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't even a New Day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this wasn't Demolition. You know what I mean? Just give this a moment, because when Bobby Lashley loses at WrestleMania, even though that contradicts our predictions, business will need to pick back up.
Yep. Yeah, man, I don't see this. I don't see the Hurt Business ending.
Word.
I see this version of the Hurt Business ending. So that's the difference here for me.
Mm-hmm. So, question for you real quick, because before we move on, because I know we're about to move on.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the potential of a Keith Lee in the Hurt Business? How you feel about
it? I think Keith Lee needs it.
Okay.
I think Keith Lee is dope, as we all know. Mm-hmm. I think Keith Lee versus Bobby Lashley is money for a title. I think all that. But if you ever seen Keith Lee work, I think Keith Lee is one of the few people on the roster that could work as a heel and as a face.
Word. I agree with you on that.
And I think he needs a jump. And not a big jump at that, because I think Keith Lee shows up the night after WrestleMania, I think it's going to be lit. But Keith Lee shows up the night after WrestleMania to whoop Drew McIntyre's ass?
Yeah.
For Bobby Lashley?
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
And then, him going to Riddle and being like, that belt's supposed to be mine? And low key adding Ricochet and Shelton Benjamin. I mean, not Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander.
Yeah.
Because now MVP truly becomes James J. Dillon.
Yeah. Yes.
Of the Four Horsemen.
Right.
So you have Bobby Lashley, Keith Lee, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander. Mm-hmm. You straight. Shelton, you go be a producer.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So yeah, I'm that. This is why I keep saying I'm down with the change of characters, but the close of business is only temporary.
Word. This
is temporary. We gonna be open April 13th.
Right.
And we gonna be okay. I just think that, it's a trigger for us. Niggas get triggered. I think it's a trigger for us. It is what it is. It's like, oh man, as soon as we get us a black group, here you go, Vince.
Right. and I tried to stay away from wrestling Twitter when it happened.
I did.
Because I already knew. I already knew it was going to be so many class action suits being filed. Via Twitter.
Via Twitter, fam.
I'm just like, all right, man.
It's a whole Deshaun Watson full of complaints.
Man, you dig what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, so nah, I'm good, man. Again, her business is always going to be boom. Sometimes you just need new employees. So sure. I think they just need new employees. Really, I think they just need really one.
Bang.
And that's it. But the biggest story to happen in wrestling happened this week, where there was a promo of Stone Cold Steve Austin Skull with the Chris Jericho countdown. Mm-hmm. And they slowly fade out. And there's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Then there's Chris Jericho at the table. Mm-hmm. And it looks like, well, ain't no look like the next episode of Stone Cold show mm-hmm. on the WWE Network mm-hmm. is going to be Chris Jericho.
Yeah. Y2J.
Yeah. Smoking Skull Sessions, April 13th April 11th.
Okay, so right before Mania.
No, that's gonna go down. So Le Champion, because let's be clear. Yes, this is Chris Jericho talking about WWE matches, but this is Le Champion. Here, this is Chris Jericho. Now, on there, this is Chris Jericho in his 50s, chubby. All that shit. But yes, he's talking about his WWE matches. So he told Sports Illustrated how all of this happened. So I'm gonna read this right here. Having someone there having someone from there on a WWE show, especially of the caliber of Chris Jericho, is pretty damn cool. Chris spent almost 20 years in the WWE. When you talk about the best runs in the history of the business, Chris Jericho's name is gonna come up. I was having a beer one night after my Broken Skull Sessions interview with The Undertaker. And then out the blue, Chris Jericho reached out and said, "Man, it was a great interview." I sent them back a couple of emojis, one of a beer mug and one of an eagle, and then he called me. Then and there, we got to talking. I've always respected the hell out of his career, and I'm glad they're around. It gives us guys and girls in professional wrestling more places to work. He's talking about AEW. I said, "I would love to have you on the show." And he said, "I'd love to do it." So I checked in with Vince about it. I text Vince and said, "We had this badass idea about Jericho coming onto the show." Vince says, "It's cool. Go ahead." But me and Vince don't always do well with phones and texts and all of that. So I text him one more time. "Are you sure it's okay to have Chris Jericho on the show?" Vince gave me the thumbs up, and Chris came out to do the show. I'm going to get this out the way now.
Let's do it.
How nonchalantly Vince was like, if that's how it went down, if that's what the text message said, how Vince McMahon nonchalantly said, "Hey, it's okay."
Yeah, that's cool.
He don't give a fuck about that wrestling promotion in Jacksonville, Florida, like y'all think he do.
Right.
Everybody else might.
Right.
But VKM don't.
You dig?
Because the old VKM, when he cared about WCW, wouldn't allow that shit.
Man.
Because he was worried about the competition. That is the WCW.
Yeah.
He don't give a fuck about AEW. I don't want to hear nothing about that Forbidden Door is open shit.
Right.
I don't want to hear none of that shit because y'all see AEW and Impact Wrestling and all that shit. I don't want to hear nothing about that shit. This ain't that and that ain't this.
You damn right.
This is Vince McMahon telling you that man right there, Chris Jericho, is most known for that countdown than anything he would do in that promotion in Jacksonville, Florida.
There you go.
He is the WWE. No matter what the fuck you think, he is the WWE. So he can come. Because here's another thing that I want y'all to realize. Cody Rhodes might be the executive vice president. But as far as a wrestling ring, Cody Rhodes is most known where?
The WWE.
He could be John Moxley all you want. But we know John Moxley more as who and where?
Dean Ambrose of the Shield in WWE.
Christian can be Christian Cage all he wants to. But we know him most notably where?
Christian from the WWE.
I could go on and on and on. Look, Shawn Spears is most known as Ty Dillinger in the WWE than he is Shawn Spears. I could keep going.
Yeah.
But just how WCW was pulling in older stars in the WCW from WWF, that's the same thing that AEW was doing from the WWF. It's just this time, It's been a 20-year gap between organizations where Vince McMahon gave a fuck about.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody you get is going to come from me.
He's funneling his own competition.
Right. Rusev is more known as who, where?
Rusev.
Miro. Yeah.
Like, WWE, man. Like, hey, listen. Vince said, all right, man, give these non-factor ass niggas a bone real quick, man.
Right.
They got my talent anyway.
They got my talent.
It don't matter.
Right.
Like, you know how much shit he gotta do to eclipse what I just did for him?
Man. Huh? Matter of fact, I'm gonna throw y'all a bone.
Man.
I'm gonna give y'all a rub.
You know what I'm saying? We on NBC now. We got a relationship with them now. This might help y'all. With your pay-per-view shit, my nigga. Yeah. Right. You know what I'm saying? I might help you out, cuz.
Chris Jericho ain't had no match in AEW like he gonna have in anything in the WWE. When they talk about when him and Stone Cold Steve Austin talk, they're gonna talk about how Chris Jericho beat him and The Rock in one night to win the Undisputed Championship.
Yep.
That right there eclipses any match with Kenny Omega.
Yeah. Beating Kenny Omega and Cody Rhodes won't match that. Or Moxley. Or Moxley. Sub either one of them. Sub them out. It won't match it.
Scorpio Sky. Like, nobody give a fuck.
Yeah.
So this is so much of a... This is like your parents telling you to go over somebody's house that you know, and like telling somebody that ain't shit to come over their house. You know they steal. They ain't stealing from my house though.
Right.
Like, man, that's somebody like you know that nigga in the family that's a klepto.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's probably like your younger cousin.
Mm-hmm. I didn't. He came to my mind too. I'm not gonna say his name.
and you know that's your cousin. You know he a klepto, but that's your cousin. You ask your mama like, "Yo, can he spend the night?" And then that cousin like, "Yeah, can I spend the night?" And your mama, your daddy like, "Yeah, they can spend the night." Then they auntie or they uncle like, "Damn, why you letting him come over to the house? You know what he be on?" Yeah, but he respect my house. He ain't gonna do none of that dumb shit.
You know what I'm saying?
I could put $5 on the table and that motherfucker gonna be there.
Right.
That's what Vince McMahon is at that point. He's that parent.
Yeah, for sure.
Chris Jericho ain't about to come over there and disrespect shit.
Yeah.
They can have disagreements all they want to about things. But he's not about to go over there and disrespect Vince McMahon. He's not about to go over there and spray AEW on the wall.
Right. That'd be pointless.
That'd be pointless.
So,
and there's not going to be a pay-per-view. Like, Vince McMahon, what he's not going to do is do what he did. Like, do what they're doing. Like, he's not going to show up. Kenny Omega is not going to show up with the belt. This ain't EC. People forget Vince McMahon done this already.
Right.
With ECW.
Right.
The Forbidden Wall been broken.
Right. Because he's the creator of the fucking wall.
Right, he's the creator of the fucking wall. This when Rob Van Dam came out on top of the Raw side.
Man.
He created the wall, niggas.
Right.
So all this Forbidden Wall shit.
Yeah. Enough of that.
Smoky Mountain Wrestling, niggas.
Oh, you think you got all those Rock and Roll Express matches for what reason?
Right. This nigga Jeff Jarrett coming to the WWF to defend the NWA Championship.
Come on.
That motherfucker invented the wall. He put that shit up mainly because it wasn't nobody around. Mm-hmm. Now it is. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. You know who's going to come to Peacock to watch that shit? Mm-hmm. All you AEW niggas who hate Vince is going to log into Peacock to watch Chris Jericho talk about his WWE matches.
Mm-hmm. No.
And here's the funny thing. This is even the wild part. Hey, Chris, you're still doing it. You're 50 years old. You're still doing it. Hey, let's talk about this match you just had with Kenny Omega. Because remember something that I said months ago, especially about the Fox show. Mm-hmm. I said that I think the WWE should start positioning itself to be the ESPN of wrestling. Where, yes, we got our own product, but yeah, we'll talk about some of the things that's going on in wrestling.
Right. Right on the ticker. ROH.
Right on the ticker.
Impact.
Right on the ticker.
AEW,
right. New Japan.
You know what I'm saying?
Have interviews with these niggas. Because what y'all are going to realize sooner rather than later, the WWE is bigger than wrestling.
Thank you for making it plain to everybody else but me.
AEW is wrestling, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
The WWE is ESPN. The WWE is Disney. The WWE is NBC, ABC. The WWE is its own entity.
Yes.
You have football, then you have the NFL, which is football. The WWE ain't even that.
Right.
Because there's wrestling all over the world.
Yes.
From down the street in your homie's backyard to some fucking YMCA to some smaller venue to some bigger venue. They are an entertainment company.
Yes.
They are Endeavor. We got all of these shits going on. Wrestling pays the bills, but we also got other shit that's bringing in money. The WWE could literally create a program that's similar to Sports Center and giving you all of the details that's going on in wrestling and still have their product. And do all this conversation that we, like the bump, could literally be the Sports Center in the morning of professional wrestling. These niggas could literally put out a report that says Kenny Omega has signed a 3-match deal with Impact Wrestling. He's going to wrestle Rich Swann, Moose, and some nigga to be named later. It does not have to have the WWE name on it. It could just be The Bump, hosted by Kayla Braxton and them other niggas, and they really have correspondence at these other organizations that can be their backstage reporters.
Yep. Especially since Charlie went to ESPN. Or, I forgot the show, but yeah.
No, just ESPN in general. She signed with Disney.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the difference here. Like Renee Young or Renee Paquette signs with AEW, she's going backwards, my nigga.
Yeah, for a fact.
She's looking for a job. That's the difference here. Charlie Caruso, Charlie or not, has shown you. That's the level up. I went from conglomerate to conglomerate. And both conglomerates allowed me to work.
Right.
But they wanted me full time. I'm out. It's nothing against them.
Right.
I'm going over to Disney. They're a bigger conglomerate.
Right.
If she would have did that and went to AEW, that's backwards.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm stuck in the wrestling shit.
Right.
Nigga, Jonathan Coachman went from conglomerate to conglomerate.
Right.
And then was working with both conglomerates. Said he shouldn't have went back to the other one. But shit, some motherfuckers go from ESPN to Fox and was like, man, I shouldn't even went back to Fox.
Yeah.
So when y'all keep thinking, see, from a wrestler perspective, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's like going from, in my opinion, that's like going from the Bulls to the Blazers. It's like going from the
91.
Blazers to the Milwaukee Bucks. That's like going from LA to New York. But when we talking about jobs, the NBA ain't, the WWE ain't the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
The WWE is now ESPN. And we going to talk about all y'all shit right here on the bump. Talking Smack, Talking Raw could be those programs for those stations, for those channels, for those shows. But the bump could literally be the ESPN Sports Center of wrestling. And niggas would be sitting there looking at Kayla Braxton like, oh man, shit. So, damn. So Jay Lethal won last night? Damn. That's what happened? Oh man, shit. Thanks, Kayla. So, fuck this forbidden wall. This forbidden door. This whole thing about Triple H saying we open for business. Nigga, we been open for business because we been signing y'all niggas.
Right. Man, listen. I'm just glad that you made it clear. Like, if this wasn't if this moment didn't help people understand the game that they in, like, yeah, we were joking and lighthearted in jest on places like Clubhouse and on Twitter, and like, yeah, hey man, I mean, in 5 years, like, and we see that in 5 years, AEW will be giving the WWE a run for their money, and it's like, and I literally did sit in those conversations like, how, when you don't even see a Drew McIntyre in their roster right now, let alone a Roman Reigns.
Right.
They don't have a Bret Hart or a Shawn Michaels over there, like, in the making. MJF is really great to me, but we don't see perennial superstar, unparalleled, top 50 greatest wrestlers of all time at this moment. We just see a guy that is really cutting through in a world where everybody's trying to be badass, and he's doing a lot of old school things in a new school way, and it's propelling him thanks to Chris Jericho. But yeah, man, you don't have a dog in this fight. Please just enjoy AEW for what it is, and enjoy AEW as its own separate entity. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when y'all thought Tracy McGrady and Kevin Garnett and Kobe Bryant would get hooped at the Rucker.
Right.
And you saw what the fuck happened. And then they let Skip to Malou go to the league, and then you saw what the fuck happened. Listen, like, bruh, don't get it fucked up. You can enjoy both. You can participate in both. But right now, just like Bang said, because now there's a 20-year head start. Never in your life think that any federation is fucking with the E right now.
Because they're different, fam.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe in your grandchildren's life, this becomes a conversation. But right now, you just hate Vince, and you just hate to see Vince winning in his 80s. That's all. That's your problem.
That's it. Like, again, y'all gonna have to realize, man, that they are on a totally different level in a ball game. They just happen to do wrestling 3 nights a week.
Facts.
And I'm not no conspiracy theorist like that. Like, I'm not about to sit up here and say Vince McMahon, like even on the WWE stand part, where you might have some stand go, man, I think Vince McMahon put AEW Impact on Wednesdays just to help boost up AEW, because they know I'm not gonna do that. But what I will say is this: you better believe that the WWE doing that shit didn't help AEW.
Man, let's talk about it.
That helped. Whether they meant to do it or not is another thing. And I don't think they meant to do it. But them being on Wednesdays, going up against AEW, iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel. And that's exactly what that was. Now, because of this hockey agreement with NBC, you're going to start seeing hockey on Wednesdays on USA and just on NBC networks in general. All right, we got to move y'all to Tuesdays.
Yeah, no more second months. People, they got to get some more money in there.
Right. They got it. They ain't getting their check just from the WWE.
Right.
So now you got some people that's just like, oh man, yeah, they lost the war. Nah, bruh. Little do you know, there was no war to begin with.
Right. That wasn't even a fist fight.
Right. It wasn't even a fist fight. This wasn't even a tussle.
No.
This is, if that's the case, then that's like me going up against my youngest little brother.
Yeah.
I have years and time on you.
Right.
I need you just as much as you need me for the betterment of this business. For a lot of people don't understand that there's a lot of networks that don't want wrestling.
Man. Bruh.
Most networks don't want that shit on their programming.
And what's so wild to me is how people don't understand that when Raw used to come on after Murder, She Wrote reruns.
And used to get replaced by the dog show.
By the Westminster Dog Show.
When that motherfucker started to become profitable as fuck, oh nah, man, we ain't gotta switch the dog show for nothing.
I ain't seen a dog show since what, the 100th episode?
Man, I can't even remember I can't even remember that shit. Now ain't no dog show, nigga.
Yeah, take
Fuck
that
you
shit
talking
to
about?
South Carolina. Do that shit over there, man.
Right. So even with AEW with the TNT deal, y'all profitable.
Right.
For the wrestling business, we need you to be profitable.
Right.
That's what people don't understand. Vince needs AEW to be profitable. Because it makes his platform more profitable.
Yes.
The Lakers need the Knicks for them to be more profitable. Because if the Knicks is worth this, I'm worth this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't be the only person here.
Right. Right.
Because if I'm the only person here, I got a limit. So, I need Chris. Hey, Chris Jericho, come on. I need you to be profitable because when I have this deal with Peacock, it's a $2 billion deal.
Right.
Compared to $950 million.
Thank you.
Because now I have other people, I have other shit. But then on the flip, AEW could be like, hey man, they getting this. We're worth this. NBA needs hockey. Hockey needs baseball. Baseball needs football. We need, all the four sports need each other. Yeah. Because if I know hockey's deal is this, I know what you're spending.
Yep. And I want that same time slot for that same price for something bigger.
Right.
That's coming up.
Let's go. So all of this shit has been about nothing. I still stand on the fact that that WWE at this point can be their own ESPN and really spotlight the wrestling business if they wanted to. The bump could literally be SportsCenter, and you can have that bitch come on in the morning and at night. Like Cher Schreiber could be your host that night, while Kayla could be your host in the morning.
Hey, and there's something to be said. And y'all gonna stop fronting like you don't know that unless Seth Rollins responds to some of the motherfuckers over there,
nobody gives a fuck.
Like until Seth Rollins be like, yeah, I mean, well, but he over there though. Like he playing AAA ball. I'm in the major league. So whenever he want to come lead AAA, fuck with me. Then we can have a real conversation.
How niggas think some of these matches from people outside of the UFC happens.
Man.
So yeah, hey man, first black champ. We be trying to tell y'all niggas. Y'all ain't got to listen. All right, man, before we get out of here, a couple of shits to hit on real quick.
Yeah.
First, Apollo Cruz's accent. Shouts out to our big homie, Big Papa.
Yeah.
Who was talking about how Apollo Cruz's accent needs to be worked on. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? Right. Camp, can you explain what you explained to this nigga?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So for Big Papa and everybody else that is wondering, where the hell did Apollo Crews get this accent from? I mean, he's really doing a bad job at being African. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he is African. He's from Nigeria. That would make him a Nigerian, and that would mean that you just don't like his regular speaking voice, because when he was athletic black American, like, you thought he sounded okay. But yet he was very vanilla. He had really no flair or style to his presentation. And why would he, when that is the character he was actually putting on? Black
my
people
man name
sing
is
this.
My man name is Sesuga Uha, and I think I'm saying his first name right.
Yeah, I think you are too.
He was born in Sacramento, raised in Atlanta, but his family is Nigerian.
And a whole bunch of Nigerians live in Atlanta.
Yeah, they do.
Like a whole bunch. Like, we need to do like a census of just Nigerians. I believe 70% of them are in Atlanta, Georgia.
While 70% of Ethiopians is in the DMV area.
See?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting to see black people not think that African accents are real. You want to talk about things that threw me for a complete loop? It was that. I was like, so what should he sound like?
Especially with the Kofi reference. Well, Kofi was Jamaican. Yeah, but Kofi ain't even Jamaican.
Right. Like,
he was born. Ghana. He was born in Ghana.
Yeah.
Born.
And since we are having this Know Your History moment, if all of y'all truly listen to the announcer in Kofi's debut, you should be completely fucking confused, because he's obviously coming out to the Sean Paul like song, SOS, I mean, did done that, and he's from Ghana, Africa, and I was like, wait, shouldn't he be from Kingston, Jamaica?
Yeah, because they changed it. He went from Kingston to Jamaica to Ghana, West Africa,
and I was like
then he went to Boston.
And I was like, wait a minute. Jamaicans aren't from Africa? Or am I fucking up? That's what I asked myself around 2003. Because I was like, wait, but shouldn't he be from like Barbados at worst? Like, where, like, couldn't he just be from Kingston, Jamaica, since he's Kofi Kingston? Like, it threw me off. But yet, we never questioned how real or fake his accent was ever, until Triple H pointed out during the middle of a
bingo
that he was like, "Yo, ain't you Jamaican?"
Like,
he was like,
"What happened? What happened to your voice? Like what?" And everybody looking like,
"Oh shit, right?"
like, ladies and gentlemen, he's really of Nigerian descent. His family is Nigerian. I believe he's first generation Nigerian. He been around that accent. It ain't fake.
Word, yeah.
He's had that accent. He's probably gotten Americanized, but what's my girl name? Yvonne Orji.
Yeah.
From Insecure.
Yeah.
Go look at her comedy special. And see her go to Nigeria.
Oh.
And you be like, oh wait, what the fuck? Oh, she Nigerian. Oh.
Yeah, that's real African chocolate right there.
That's real African chocolate. Real as fuck. The last thing that I have is, how do you feel about the Raw side of the WrestleMania build up?
It's you know what? Honestly, the Raw WrestleMania build-up reminds me of why I can't sit through 4 hours of WrestleMania. You know, like, in the music world, we say things as filler tracks, right?
Yeah.
I think Raw has mastered the filler match in a sense.
Oof.
Yeah, you know, and I hate to say that, but like some of them like, yo, this got a good beat, or man, or that hook is hard. Maybe, you know, somebody else should hop on it. Like, it's clear to me, outside of maybe 2 matches, that they're the reason why WrestleMania just goes on too long for me in one day. Like, I'm totally adamant that when we get back to normal, and if that means everybody gets vaccinated and that's how you enter in the stadium, I still want WrestleMania to be 2 nights. And a lot of it is because what the fuck is happening on Raw right now. Like, I don't want to see a lot of these matches, Bang. I don't want to see them. They trying, I get it, and no disrespect. But like, only because it's 3 black people in it do I want to see the tag team title match.
Yeah.
I want to see Bobby Lashley and Drew, but not really. You know what I'm saying? So then that leaves us with Rhea Ripley and Asuka.
I don't want to see that.
Right. And you don't really want to see that. And it's just like, yeah, this is literally 9 to 11. This is 9 o'clock. This is 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. of WrestleMania when it's one night, and you're like, fuck. I dozed off and shit. Oh shit! I woke up just in time to get that Roman Reigns shit in. No,
I'm glad this on demand.
Right, right, and that's where I'm at with it right now.
Yeah, I don't want to see Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon either.
Yeah,
to keep it a buck, it might not be a match on Raw that I really want to see, and that's including the championship match.
Yeah, I mean. And this is, I mean, going back to our predictions, this is why I say Sheamus should win the United States Championship, because he's actually probably going to put on the best performance from the Raw side of things.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably going to have the moment and pull off the match. I don't think Shane is going to outdo everybody this time, partially because it's against Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's where I'm at with it.
Hey, well. Hey, man, another jam-packed episode of First Black Champ. Mm-hmm. Make sure y'all follow us at JR Bang at Camp from the Port. Follow First Black Champ at fbc.pod on Instagram. Yeah. Join the group on Facebook. If you don't want to be in the group, join the page. Like the page and everything. Mm-hmm. You can also see us on YouTube, and you can see us on Twitch. So make sure you go to Twitch, the What Digital, and make sure you go ahead and hit that follow button. You're going to be able to see all of the episodes there. We go live when we do the live recording. So if you want to set that timer there and watch that, that is all good. That is all cool. Also, the What Digital website, you can go find content there as well. Mm-hmm. All right, it is now secure, so you go up in there and you can check that out. All of the episodes is going to be there too, and make sure you go ahead and get that merch. Everybody Can't Be Champ and other new pieces are there. 15% off. FBCWM is the code. One more time, FBCWM is the code. You can click the link in our bio and you can go get the merch right there. Now, all that long ass title we told you at the beginning, you go click the link in the bio. It's going to take you right there until we get the direct link correct. That's all I got.
There it is. Well, hey, man, as always, we appreciate y'all tuning into the show, checking us out every single week. We got to inform y'all, we're going to have to skip a week here because, J.R. Banger will be starring in the cast of Party of Five, not the white version. You dig what I'm saying? He'll be Party of Five, so we will not see y'all next week. We might sneak a little side content in if possible. But other than that, we're going to catch y'all towards the end of the month after WrestleMania has already happened and your hangover is over. Hopefully we get a good night of Raw after that, as well as SmackDown. But remember, if you ever want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, you do so by checking out the First Black Champ podcast. Camp, bang, we are out.